back end.
Yeah.
Tons of them floating around. And my buddy, I was sleeping in my chair. Buddy stuck one to my forehead, took a photo, uploaded to Facebook, and
we're gonna have to get that photo at some point.
Unfortunately, I've deleted my Facebook account, so I think it's gone.
Welcome, Fragapalooza 2019. Back to some more interviews today on Sunday, the final day of the event. Everyone's kind of still gaming, but I think starting to wind down from so much gaming here. We're being joined by ForgottenLords. This guy is a long-time staff member with Fragapalooza, and in my opinion, a lot of these tournaments would not even go forward without him. He does a lot of the scheduling and the tallying of all the scores. He does the roster sheets.
And the headaches of the players not showing up. And
yeah, well, you could say that's the biggest headache here.
Yeah.
So how long have you been with Frag?
Well, my first year attending was 2001, I believe. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. 2001, so first year of high school.
Wow. Okay.
Came with my buddies. They've since stopped coming, but the year following, so 2002, I was like, I want to volunteer.
Right.
I loved it that much.
Yeah.
So I was signing up, and they had options for like security and registration, and I was seeing like they had a little column for tournaments. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
I'll put my name down, and didn't really want to be doing a security shift, so I ended up doing tournaments. And at that time, we had a much different setup than this, and we had dedicated tournament machines. So my job as a volunteer was literally to run scores from the tournament area where we had dedicated tournament machines to Como at the head table so that he could write out the brackets on his big wall of paper.
Awesome.
So from there to here, it's been a long journey, but it's been pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And so how many different tournaments over the years have you seen? You've probably seen quite a bit as games come in and they leave and get popular and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to this specific one that kind of got me interested in unusual tournaments.
Right.
There was like a big grand strategy game. I can't remember the name of it, but brain just
it's been 4 days.
But it's been 4 days. So yeah, it's interesting to try to pick up on trends and see what comes and goes and how long things stick around. And
I know last year when it was last year, year before, when PUBG first started getting popular, we had some fun doing those tournaments as well, because again, these games come out on our end, we have no idea when they're new how we're going to spectate them, how we're going to showcase them, what kind of rules people are using if there's no real league out yet. So you kind of have to be the man in the back figuring out how we tally these scores, how things move forward.
Yeah, so PUBG is a good example because we did that for the first time 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
The third year,
this is the third year for PUBG.
And the year it was played, the first year it was participants who set it up, and they arranged for it. So I think they just played a couple games, and they were like, "That."
Yeah, we had someone had a private server.
They just spun the server up at the end of one of the other tournaments, and people filled it up and played some games.
Yeah.
And we saw 100 people can fill a server. That's a lot of people, and so we're like, well, let's see what we can do to bring that into the fold.
Yeah.
And that, when it first came out, it was still in like pre-alpha.
Oh yeah.
So
there was still problems.
There was massive problems, and in order to make a custom game, you need to have special like streamer privileges or something like that.
Yeah.
So
because Bluehole wasn't giving away privileges and permissions back then.
Yeah.
No.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. But we had, thankfully, the streamers that year had access to it, so
which was nice.
They just did it themselves.
Yeah, we had the first ever Zombies Canadian, ever played in Canada when Zombies mode came out, was here at Fragapalooza. So that was really cool too.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That was an interesting year, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, And this year, I was reading the pulse of the internet, and auto chess was a big thing just a couple months ago, right? It hit a wave, and it just kept on going. So I was like, what can I do? You got 3 different prime game companies developing auto chess games, and I was like, well, it would be foolish of us not to try to embrace that. So there's a little bit of that sort of experimental stuff, really, how do you do 8-man free-for-all
Yeah.
thing. And had we not had the experience with the Battle Royale mode, where you put everybody into a server, they get points based on their ranking, I would have been completely lost.
Yeah.
Because usually how I do my planning for tournaments is I look online to see how other people are doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Why reinvent the wheel, right?
And people come here expecting some degree of professional
Professionalism.
level of
Yes.
like, this is what, maybe not what they'll participate in an actual esports $10,000 prizing event with, but I want to be able to give them some hint of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that feeling of, hey, you can compete in one of these events too, that you see like online on Twitch or
absolutely.
streaming somewhere through IGN or whoever it may be, right?
Yeah.
And Underlords was one of those auto chess tournaments that we held this year, and it went well, I think.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even for casters, like, we went into it, we knew nothing
about it,
Underlords.
absolutely
we
nothing.
literally learned it on the fly.
Now I love the game.
Yeah, I've been playing it all frag
So,
as
do
well.
I not?
You do.
Every time you come over, what am I playing?
Dota Underlords.
Dota Underlords.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's been a great game, and I think a great addition to the tournaments, and we'll probably see it moving forward.
Well,
Maybe?
Dota. Well, it's hard to say because we try to gauge interest. Participation in tournaments this year will feed into how we're running
next
things
year.
next year.
Yeah.
We try to have like these trial events,
Yep.
like Dota Underlords, see how they work out. This
Right.
is the first year, obviously, because this is the first year they've existed.
Yep.
I haven't done the numbers, but it was well received, and
Awesome.
it's a good, perfect one to do on the Thursday evening.
Just super
afternoon,
Yeah,
evening,
yeah, easy, right?
because there's some people that don't show up until Friday after work. So we want to be able to have a solo team game that can run quickly and be fun and lighthearted, and so it's a great Thursday one. A couple years we've been doing like a 1v1 Dota league.
There's League,
of
yeah.
Legends. And I felt that had sort of run its course a little bit.
Yeah.
And I figured instead of replacing League with Dota 1v1, because you're trading one thing for very similar
exactly.
other thing,
Yeah.
it just seemed very fortuitous that Dota Underlords had or could fill that role.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when did you guys start? Because one of my major questions, and I don't know the answer to this, but when did Frag start doing the non-digital tournaments, like the rock paper scissors and
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Bear
Oh,
Days?
we've been doing that since the first year, I assume.
Oh,
Like
really?
I was 97, I wasn't there.
Right.
So my first year, we've been doing random events like that, depending on the venue. Those are can change significantly.
Right.
My first year was at the Mayfield, where they had this half wall that was 7-8 feet tall, just tall enough that you could hop up and catch the lip of it.
Cool.
And so we had the wall hang.
Oh, nice. So how
So-
long you can
The
hold on
wall
for?
hang.
The wall
We
hang.
gotta bring that
Oh,
back.
my
That would be amazing.
Unfortunately, there's
There's
no
nothing-
walls around.
There's no
Yeah,
wall
we got
to-
rafters.
Yeah.
Make it dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just hang from the.
That is cool though.
Yeah,
That is
so
cool.
we've got stories all like that. The wall sit. We haven't done that one in a while because I don't know why.
Oh, where you like you go up
Yeah.
against the wall and you
Put your
just,
back to a wall, slide down, so you're
Oh,
at a.
that's hard, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I have a record for that at high school. In high school.
Well, apparently one of the staff had a record for the wall hang, and then we decided to mess with them by putting
Like
a
petroleum
lubricant, petroleum jelly. Yeah.
So
on
and
the
you
top.
weren't originally friends with the rest of the staff. You came in with other friends.
Yeah.
Met these guys.
So I came in with Beer Monkeys represent.
Nice.
Of course, none of us were legal drinking age, so Beer Monkeys,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I came in to doing the volunteer thing. You tend to spend a lot of time with at least
Staff.
some of the staff.
Yeah.
I was, for almost that entire time, I was co-volunteering with the tournament. So there's only 2 volunteers for like 5 or 6 years or whatever.
Right.
Me and NATO.
Yeah.
And eventually, one year, Kama wasn't able to come down from where he lives, and I had to take over. Somebody had to take over. And so I was like, I know stuff. Like my first year, I didn't know what a double elimination tournament was. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a mystery to me.
Right.
So it took me like 3 years of volunteering before I really understood like brackets and like how to balance for fairness and try to reduce randomness in a tournament, or in some cases you want to encourage the randomness. So I've learned by trial fire,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah.
And there's still things I don't know, still things I want to learn. But anyway, so Como couldn't come down one year. I stepped up, and between NATO and I, we were able to get the tournament running. And at the end of that event, this was in Fort Saskatchewan, I believe, so just before we came here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there was one year where all of our venues had run dry.
Yeah.
Just before we found this place. So at the end of the event, we just sit down as a staff at the end of the event, and they'll say, well, I guess you're staff now, and no fanfare, no nothing. It was great. It was just so exhausted. I just finished running tournaments.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had it in me
Right.
going into the event, and apparently I do.
Yeah.
It
To
is
some extent.
it
You
is-
get a little emotional right now?
I'm getting a little bit
Oh,
emotional.
I
That's
love
good,
it.
buddy.
Because
That's
these
good.
guys have become my new group.
Yeah.
I still obviously hang out with the old guys in
Yeah.
real life, but this is my gaming group.
Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. And you
Me
know
too.
what?
You're getting me emotional
Yeah, I'm
right
getting a
now.
little emotional too. You know, it's our first year as staff members, and
Well, we're not staff members. We are
half. Let's say half staff.
half staff. We're
Half-mast?
half
Half
mast.
mass. And you know what? It's like I can tell you all the staff here, including Forgotten Lords, they just were super welcoming.
Yeah.
They brought us in. You know, we helped them out, and he is right. It is tiring. Like, you were on the ball for 4 days. It can be exhausting. There's mentally draining because there's a lot to remember, a lot to focus on. We're dealing with our participants, tournaments, equipment, everything. It's
go, go,
It's
go,
always go, go,
24/7.
go.
You forget to eat.
You
You
forget
don't
to
get
Yeah.
enough sleep. You
forget
forget
to
to drink.
sleep. Yeah,
You can't go
definitely.
pee because you're in front of a camera
if it
or
wasn't-
you got people coming up to you.
If it wasn't for you, I don't think I would have survived.
Well, yeah, you forgot to eat yesterday.
I forgot to eat yesterday.
Yeah, and he did bring us burgers and fries, which was we were fully appreciative. Like, that was amazing,
Well,
man.
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't really realize just how much work it is until you've done it.
Do it, yeah.
I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yep.
But sometimes it's just like, I need a break. I need
Yes.
a moment to myself.
Yeah.
I sit at the end of the table, right? So I'm the first person people pass, the participants.
Yeah.
So I'm the first person that gets a question. So it's hard for me to find a spot. Just
They
like,
come right to you.
bite of my burger. Can I finish? No. Okay, I'll put that down.
Well,
But as I said, I love it, and
Yeah.
I don't even play.
I know. Yeah.
We
We
played
got a game in
two
two
games
games
of Soda
yesterday.
Underlords
Yesterday.
and I managed to eke out an hour to play a game, 10 minutes, or
Yeah.
sorry,
This
an hour.
is
of
the
Stellaris.
first year for me too, where it was just there was no time to play.
No time to play.
I did Underlords as well with you. I played maybe one or few games with Melbosa, and that was that. So,
Well, I know.
But we don't play. We don't come here to play.
No.
We come here because we love
We
running
love-
the event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We love providing a space for people to do the playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this: you went on your lunch break yesterday.
I had a lunch break.
You I guess you left to go get food or something at one moment, and the tournament Counter-Strike fell apart at that moment.
So
So this is what happens when you leave.
yeah.
The tournament just falls apart.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into
No,
details of
no,
that,
no.
but for the most part,
Yeah.
people know how to run their own tournaments.
Right.
They know their games much better than I do.
Yeah.
I don't play very many video games
Yep.
competitively at all. Last time I was even big into it was 4 years ago with League.
Right.
And so I trust that people know how to play their game and they know how to set it up, and as long as I give them a format beforehand and
Yep.
give them the tools that they need to do their job, they will largely run it, and I'm left recording scores. So people
Yep.
come up to me and say, I got this score, and I put it in the system, and I wait for the next one.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to get little breaks in between
Yeah.
there to play games,
Yeah.
but sometimes it just falls apart a little bit. Like, you give people instructions, and they forget them,
yeah,
or
yeah.
they just don't adapt well,
Yeah.
or just something comes up.
And
I don't feel like I am essential to the tournaments, but there's those moments where
There's
I'm just
those
like,
moments, yeah.
I do need to be able to keep things going.
Right, absolutely. Well, Forgotten Lords, everyone, prominent member of the staff here, and we all love him. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Oh,
Having
you.
an
handshakes. We
interview
don't do
with us.
handshakes
Oh, yeah, we're
here.
huggers.
No,
here,
we're
that's
huggers.
true.
We're
Very,
always
very true.
huggers. Thanks for everything you
Thanks
do.
for all your contributions, buddy.
Thank you guys for streaming.
Appreciate it. Yes, absolutely.
A much
Anytime.
better event for it.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we're probably going to have a few more interviews at some point. So we will be spooling back up Facebook and YouTube the minute we have more coming down the pipe. Twitch, again, is 24/7, so that just runs.
All the time, yeah.
At the end of the event, when the Twitch feed closes off, we're going to be highlights and going through it and doing some media production and mixing, and then showcase those videos. So hang tight. And let's go to
a commercial break, and hopefully we'll be back with another interview of a specific staff member that shall not be named at this moment.
And well, that's what happens when you go around the corner happy with one dig.